I really like my Nintendo Switch, but I don't know, I just wish it wasn't so dark. Oh, what the is this? The Nintendo Switch Lite. Released in 2019, the Nintendo Switch Lite is essentially a handheld-only version of the Nintendo Switch, and in a lot of ways, the Switch Lite is to the Nintendo Switch what the 2DS was to the Nintendo 3DS. It's pretty much just a cheaper alternative to the mainline console with a few of the key features taken out of it. However, I've always felt that the Switch Lite just doesn't really have a place in the Nintendo Switch family like the 2DS did, and I've thought about this, and I think the reason why is because, other than price point, the Switch Lite doesn't offer anything unique from the Nintendo Switch. Because if you look at the 2DS, it was a cheaper alternative to the Nintendo 3DS, but it also had some completely unique features, like its form factor. And, you know, even to this day, there's a lot of people out there who think the 2DS had the very best form factor out of any DS system ever, so I don't know, I just feel like the 2DS always had other reasons to drive people to purchase it other than its cheaper price point, whereas the Switch Lite just doesn't really have that. But anyways, that's enough of that, because in today's video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a look at every special edition Switch Lite system, and we're going to place each of them into one of three categories. They will either go into the good, the bad, or the ugly. So without further ado, let's get into this. The Animal Crossing New Horizons Isabelle Aloha Edition. So, as the name suggests, this system came out when Animal Crossing New Horizons did, and the design is kind of based off of Isabelle's shirt here. So, this is Isabelle. You can see that they're wearing a pink shirt with leaves on it, and that is pretty much what this system is. So, it is that pastel pink color with the leaf pattern on the back plate, and then there's not really much more going on here except on the front plate, you've got that little Animal Crossing leaf logo in the bottom right, and that's pretty much it for this one. It's a very basic special edition system in my opinion. It does look clean, but I don't know, I just feel like they could have done so much more, particularly on the front plate, because, you know, all of the buttons are just that boring gray color and there's no pattern on the front, so I think that kind of sucks, honestly. Like, the design itself is nice, but for a special edition system, particularly in the Nintendo Switch era, where I guess the standards of a special edition system is kind of a lot higher than, say, the Game Boy Advance or DS era, I feel like this just doesn't do enough. So I'm going to be really harsh here and put this one in the bad. My apologies to all of the Animal Crossing Isabelle fans out there. My condolences to you, but yeah. The Animal Crossing New Horizons Timmy and Tommy Aloha Edition, and pretty much everything I just said about the previous system applies to this one, because it is the exact same design but with a blue color instead of a pink color. So I don't know, this is what it looks like. As you guys can see, it's very f***ing similar. I don't know what else to say here. I'm gonna chuck it in the bad for the exact same reasons, and we're gonna move on. Alright, cool. The Dialga and Palkia Edition. So this special edition system launched alongside the remasters for Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, and looking at the front here, I mean, guys, come on, this doesn't even look like a special edition system. I don't know what it is with the Switch Lite special edition systems right now, but why is Nintendo so afraid to put some nice designs on the front? Because, yeah, it's just a grey Nintendo Switch Lite. I guess the only major difference is the buttons are black versus the standard grey Switch Lite, which just has the light grey buttons on it, but come on. That doesn't matter. Who gives a f*** about black buttons? So the main design on this special edition system is on the back plate, where you have a gold design of Palkia on the left and a silver design of Dialga on the right, and it's a very minimal kind of artistic design here, you know. They don't really stand out too much, and particularly with Dialga's design using that silver color, it's very similar to the font color on the Nintendo Switch logo and all of the, you know, writing in the bottom middle there, to the point where it just kind of blends in with it, in my opinion, which is really f***ing lame in my opinion. Like, why not make Dialga a nice vibrant blue color here, just to make it stand out a bit more? I really just don't get it. I think this design f***ing sucks, and I'm putting it in the ugly. The Zacian and Zamazenta edition. So this system came out alongside Pokemon Sword and Shield, and already I feel like this one is doing a lot more than all of the previous systems we've looked at because, guys, there's colors on the buttons. Don't we just love to see that? Like, it's so simple, but I feel like it makes the system look so much more unique, and it actually just looks like a special edition system from the front. So I think that's a big plus. So on the left, the joystick and D-pad are blue to represent Zacian and Pokemon Shield, and on the right, the A, B, X, and Y buttons and the joystick are a pinkish red color to represent Zamazenta and Pokemon Shield. And the colors are really vibrant, they kind of pop out, so I think that looks really nice. However, I do think it's still a little bit lame that there's no other actual artwork or design on the front here, because other than the colored buttons, it is pretty bland in all other areas, so that's definitely a thing. On the back plate, you've got line art of Zacian on the left and Zamazenta on the right, and I'm probably just sounding like the biggest Switch Lite hater right now, but this is again just not doing enough for me here. Why have they just used grey line art on the legendaries on the back plate? Like, add some color like you did on the front and translate that to the back as well. Like, this is, I don't know, it's so bland. I don't know what happened with the Switch Lite special editions, because you don't see this kind of issue on the Nintendo Switch and OLED Switch special edition systems. It's just the Switch Lite. I just think it's a little bit sad. So yeah, I had a few positive things to say about the front of the system, but the back plate here just completely lets it down, so I'm gonna have to put it in the bad. The Hyrule edition. So this is a gold Nintendo Switch Lite which will release alongside The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. As of the time I'm recording this, it hasn't actually released yet, but there's heaps of pictures and videos of this thing online, and I feel like I've got a good enough idea of what it looks like to have an informed opinion on it. So yeah, looking at the front here, we've got a gold plate with black buttons, and there's a little Triforce logo below the right joystick. And again, same criticism as with all of the other editions we've looked at, there's just not enough going on the front here. I do like the gold and black color scheme of the system, but I don't know, like the front of the system is what everyone's going to be looking at when they're playing a game, and Nintendo has just seemed to completely disregard any kind of special, unique artwork on the front of all of the Nintendo Switch Lite special editions for some reason. So I just think that overall that's a little bit lame, but again, I love the color scheme. I'm a big fan of pretty much all of the gold special edition systems, particularly the gold Zelda special edition systems. So that's definitely a tick from me. And then on the back, you've got some Hyrulean artwork of the Triforce here. And you can see it's got a little triangle design pattern that kind of overlays it as well. And yeah, I'm going to be a bit brutal here again because I've got some criticism about this design, and the main critique I have overall for this system is that it's just completely uninspired in my opinion. Like, I think overall the design looks really clean, it looks awesome, and as a standalone Zelda Special Edition system, I think it's fine, but when you put this in the context of what came before it, I feel like it really falls short because, look, I'll just put it on screen right now. This is the Hyrule edition of the new Nintendo 3DS XL, and as you can see here, this pattern on the front plate is pretty much exactly what they've used on the back plate of the Switch Lite. So it's basically like taking a design they've already done previously and they've just slapped it on a Nintendo Switch Lite, and I'm just like, come on, can we get something different? I don't know. I still like the system, so I'm going to just put this one in the good, but I do still have a lot of negative feelings towards it, I guess. So yeah. And guess what? That's actually it for all of the special edition Switch Lite systems. I feel like out of all of the videos I've done on Nintendo's special edition systems, this one has been by far the most negative. I just feel like the Switch Lite's library of special edition systems just isn't good. It really isn't. Like, nothing stands out here. They all have major flaws in my opinion, and I did end up putting the Hyrule edition in the good, but only just. Like, I was so close to putting this one in the bad. So yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this. It'd be interesting to see if a lot of other people out there kind of share the same feelings as I do towards the Switch Lite's library of special edition consoles. So definitely let me know what you thought about their rankings down in the comment section below, and there'll be a couple of videos on the screen right now for you to check out if you want to see some of my other content, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.